We are live now. So, okay, so all of you, can you hear me very clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, I can't hear you all. Yeah. Okay. Strange why I can't hear you. Anyways. Anyways, let's start, and then we'll see if there are technical issues. Then maybe I'll change my microphone. Okay. Um. I'll be sharing my screen with the agenda for today, and then we can proceed. Okay. So initially, I had decided to cover chapter 1 to 5, but sorry, shlokas 1 to 5. But I think that we need to discuss about the attendance and all the other aspects, the data collection part. So basically, we'll cover only until chapter sorry, shloka 4, and then we'll discuss the other aspects. So this is the agenda. Like Mangala Charan, as usual, we'll invoke some auspiciousness by chanting some pranam mantras. Then shlokas 1 to 4 we'll discuss. Instead of question and answers, I have certain information to share. So we'll be discussing on that. Okay. So let's start with the Mangalacharan and then we can proceed. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gururo Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुम लंघते गिरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वर हरि ओम. So as usual, I am going to dedicate this session to the founder Acharya of ISKCON, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Whatever I am going to speak, I'll simply repeat what I have heard in the lectures of Srila Prabhupada. I'll merely repeat what I have read in the books of Srila Prabhupada, and I'll merely repeat what I have learned from my Siksha Gurus and the Guru Parampara of ISKCON. Okay. I hope this humble effort of mine will please my spiritual master as well as His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So moving on, let me share the screen again. So we're starting with the second chapter today. Let me share it a little later. So a quick recap, like about what we had read in the first chapter, and then we can proceed from here. All right. So there were 4 reasons which Arjun had cited. So what we saw in the first chapter was that initially Arjun was very excited, to go out and see like who all had come to fight in the battlefield. We had also, learned about the some great stalwarts which were present in the army of Pandavas. There are some great stalwarts who were present in the army of Kauravas. We had also studied about the diplomacy of Duryodhan, right? How diplomatic he was in approaching all his superiors. And then we also saw that finally Krishna and Arjun, they enter into the scene, and then Arjun is very excited. He wants to see who all have come to fight on the battlefield, right? And finally, when he sees that his own kinsmen, his own relatives, his friends, his like sons and grandsons, all of them are there standing against him in the battlefield to fight with him. So then he starts losing, like his confidence, and he starts actually what to say. Um, he's overcome by lamentation and grief, basically. Why? Because he doesn't want to kill them. Okay, so he cited 4 reasons. Like he started giving excuses, he started making excuses, and he says that, oh Krishna, I don't want to fight. Okay, and he cites 4 reasons for not fighting. Okay, so can anyone help me summarize like what were the 4 reasons which Arjun had cited? Any, like, just give any one of them. So 4 people, maybe they can say at least one point. First was somehow I'm not able to hear you all.
Order.
Yes, Mataji, I can hear you now. Yeah, tell me.
I don't remember this in chronological order, but one of
Huh?
them was that we are doing all this for the materialistic victory, and if the kinsmen are not there, who will we enjoy with?
Loss of
Uh,
enjoyment, that was one. Second, anyone
Second
else?
was,
Yeah,
okay,
anyone else? Yeah. Okay, Ishita Mataji, do you recall second one?
yeah, second one was the sin that they will incur uh, uh, by killing their own people,
Hmm.
and that will also give rise to um, non-ethical progeny,
Yes, unwanted progeny, correct. So,
unwanted progeny here.
yeah, so 4 reasons what he cited was, first was that compassion for his relatives. Okay, that Arjuna became compassionate for all the relatives that he saw on the battlefield. He didn't want to kill them. And, his heart was actually like overwhelmed after seeing them, okay, on the battlefield. So, compassion. Then, second, as Mataji said, lack of enjoyment, loss of enjoyment. Okay, that his argument was that if we kill all of them, then with whom we will enjoy this kingdom, right? No one will be there to enjoy this kingdom with, correct? So, loss of enjoyment was the second. Third was sins will overcome us. He was saying that, okay, if we kill our own relatives, we'll incur sinful reactions, and because of that, we will eternally reside in hell, after quitting this body. So, sins will overcome us. That was the third reason. And fourth reason, what he said
Can
was,
I tell the fourth one?
yes, yes, of course, Mataji, please go ahead.
I think the fourth reason was that the dynasty, the Kuru dynasty, would be destroyed if all of his
Hmm.
cousins and everyone is killed.
Correct. Yes. Destruction of family traditions and unwanted progeny, right, will actually manifest if uh, we kill our own kinsmen. So these were the 4 reasons which Arjun was citing, and we'll see in the second chapter that what happened. And after saying all these things, what he did was that he just simply sat down on his chariot and he said, "Oh Krishna, I will not fight." Okay, and we had seen that his bow was slipping from his hand and he was shivering. His mouth was drying up, and all these symptoms he was actually, like manifesting that just after seeing his kinsman. And finally, he says that, "Oh Krishna, I won't fight." Okay, so if you can recall that this whole incident, like, this was being narrated to Dhritarashtra by Sanjay, right? Because Sanjay had this divine vision, the Divya Drishti, which he had got from his spiritual master Ved Vyas, and because of which he was able to see what was going on the battlefield of Kurukshetra simply by sitting in the palace of Hastinapur. Okay, the first evidence of television, okay, that we can have. that is given in the Mahabharata, right? So when Dhritarashtra heard this from Sanjay, that Arjun is completely shattered and he doesn't want to fight, he became very happy, after listening to that. Okay, and he became hopeful that okay, now that he has decided not to fight, maybe Pandavas just will give a walkover, to the Kauravas. They will simply, hand over the victory to Kauravas, very nicely decorated on a plate. Okay, so he was under a misconception, he was under illusion, and to dispel all this illusion, Sanjay starts, uh, like saying, that what happened next, which marks the beginning of the second chapter. Okay, from chapter 2 onwards, like Sanjay will slowly, you will see that he will dispel all the doubts which is there, all the illusion which is there in the mind of Dhritarashtra, and the scenes will progress after that. Okay, so it's a very philosophical chapter, like chapter number 2, with a good number of verses around. Again, I think if I'm not wrong, it has, yeah, decent number of verses. I don't recall the exact number, but it's a long chapter. Okay, and there are some key concepts that we'll understand with this. Okay, so without wasting further time, we'll simply go ahead and start reading. Okay, let me share my screen again. So we'll go in order. I see Ivana Mataji first. So yes, Mataji, would you like to like recite? Maybe I can help you. You can just repeat it after me and then read the translation and the purport of this verse.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Sanjay Uvacha
Sanjay Uvacha
Tam Tatha Kripayavishtam
Tam Tatha Kripayavishtam
Ashrupurna Kulekshanam
Ashrupurnam Kulekshanam
Vishidantam Idam Vakyam
Vishidantam Idam Vakyam
Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Yeah, please read the translation and purport.
Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind is depressed, his eyes full of tears. Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had taken over him in the discharge of his duty. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of nescience cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. One who does not know this and laments for outward dress is called Sudhara, or the one who laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dispute the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Shri Krishna. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results and is situated in the fixed conception of real self. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay. Very beautiful verse, and we'll see some, we'll do some analytical study of this verse. Okay. So first thing, like again, this word Madhusudana is coming. Okay. So Madhusudana, this name actually Krishna got because he killed a demon Madhu. In the forthcoming verses, I'll just explain, like what was the, like it's a small story behind, how he killed that demon. And uh, he's the killer of Madhu demon, so he's known as Madhusudana. Okay. And Sanjaya, when he's narrating this, to Dhritarashtra, he's deliberately using this term Madhusudana, right? Because he's indirectly trying to give a hint to Dhritarashtra that just like Krishna killed the Madhu demon, he is going to kill the demon of all the doubts which has crept in the mind of Arjuna. Okay. Or another reason, like another thing which our acharyas say is that Madhu also means sweet, okay, or it represents honey. Okay, so Krishna is obviously very sweet. Okay, so by his sweetness, Krishna is going to dispel all the grief and lamentation which is there in Arjun's heart in the due course of time. Okay, so this is the kind of hint which Sanjay is giving to Dhritarashtra, and he's saying that okay, don't be very happy. Picture bhi baki hai mere dost, right? So this is what he's saying, and the very nice analogy which Prabhupada gives in this particular chapter is, saving the dress of a drowning man. Okay, so now just imagine, like if someone has fallen into ocean, okay, and a person goes and try to save that the other person who is drowning. He goes up to him, takes off his clothes and come back, and he says that okay, I have saved him. I have saved him. Right? So does it make any sense? Right? It's not. I mean, it's stupid, right? If like clothes are of least importance, considering the situation when a person is actually drowning, that person is about to lose the life. Okay, so importance is that we should save that drowning man or drowning woman, right, who is in that particular difficulty. Okay. So similarly, we all have fallen into this material pool. We have all fallen into this, ocean of nescience, okay, ignorance which is there. Okay. And this gross body which we possess is just like a dress. Okay. So simply by maintaining this body, okay, or by living a very high quality life, okay, I mean, what to say, with a lot of opulence, material opulence, and like wealthy rich life, it's not going to save us from this ocean of nescience. We will ultimately drown into the deepest part of the oceans, and it's going to be very difficult to come out of it after that. Okay, so the actual, when we say that okay, person is actually saved from this material existence is when they take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. They follow the instructions, and just by doing that, the spiritual master actually pulls them out of the ocean of nescience and takes them back home, back to Krishna. Okay, so this is a learning, that we can get from this particular verse. Okay, that we all are very ignorant in so many ways. Okay, we don't even know our true identity. Every day we see ourselves in the mirror, right in front of the mirror we stand, and we see that okay, how am I looking, how is my hair looking, and this and that, right? But are we actually seeing ourselves? No, what you see in the mirror is your physical body. We have never even seen ourselves. Okay, so we don't even know our real identity, who we are, what is our, how is our existence in the spiritual world, what role we have there. Okay, what is our actual swarupa. Okay, so we are so ignorant, okay, that we don't even know ourselves. Okay, so but Krishna can dissipate all the doubts, all the ignorance from everyone's heart. And how can we do that? He has spoken the Bhagavad Gita for us for the same purpose. Okay, keeping Arjun just as a medium, he simply spoke this Bhagavad Gita. He has given the instructions. He has given us the do's and don'ts. Simply by following the rules and regulations which have been mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can get out of this ocean of nescience or the ignorance, right, we have fallen into. Okay, so this is the learning from this verse. Very nice verse, very beautiful verse. And yeah, we'll see again, the next one. Let's see. Let me share the screen again. And yes, who's next? Ishita Mataji. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'll try.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Kutastva Kashmal Idam Vichame
Kutastva Kasmalam Idmai
Samupasthitam
Vishme Samupastitam
Anaryajustam Swargya
Anarya Justam Asarvagyam
Kirti Karam Arjuna.
Akirti Karam Arjuna.
So you can read, the purport is very long. We'll just read the translation and then we'll see what some important points that we can realize from this verse. Okay, we'll refer to the purport as and when required. Just the translation, Mother. Yeah.
Sure, Prabhuji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to
Infamy.
infamy."
Yes. So Krishna is asking Arjun, right, that from where this kind of impurities have come upon you. Okay, so you're a Kshatriya. So that's what he's trying to say. And this is not at all befitting for a man, for a Kshatriya, with the quality of life that, you have. Okay, so please don't be illusioned that you'll get, higher planetary systems by, quitting from this war. Okay, it will bring nothing but infamy. This is what, Krishna is saying. So another very important verse. So we'll see, what it has to say. So first of all, first time in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking. Okay, and just see how he has been referred. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Okay, so this itself says. So you see the author, who is none other than Ved Vyas. Like he is not saying Krishna Uvacha or Vasudev Uvacha or Madhusudana Uvacha. We have seen so many names of Krishna. Okay, but he's specifically referring to him as Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. That means he is the God. Okay. So, now what is God? Some people say that he is energy. Okay, that okay, God is formless, he's just light, and all kinds of descriptions they give. Some say that he's all pervasive, he is present in each and every single atom. Okay, and then some people say that okay, he has a, like a body, and he's just like appears very similar to us. Basically, what he's sometimes it is also said in certain faiths that God created man in his own reflection, like that. So that means some people believe that God is a person. Okay. Now there are three aspects to it. Okay, all the three of them are correct. Basically, all these three understandings are correct, but the understanding in which a person believes that God is a person, okay, that is the complete understanding. And how can we say that? We get this reference from none other than Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, and it says, Vadanti Tattva Vidastatvam Yajajnanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwaniti Shabdate. Okay, that means there are three aspects of the supreme absolute truth. What are those three aspects? Brahmeti, okay, that is Brahman, or the personal effulgence of Krishna. Okay, then Paramatmiti, that is the localized Paramatma, which is present in everyone's heart, which is present in each and every single atom. Okay, and then Bhagwaniti, which is the person, the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, Krishna, as we know, the person who performs his eternal pastimes in the Golok Vrindavan along with Srimati Radharani, his cowherd boys, his parents, his the other gopis who are there, and so many, the cows are there, and like so many things are there. Okay, so he is a person and he's performing all these activities. He stays in a place called Golok Vrindavan. He has a complete address. Okay, who his parents are, who are the friends of Krishna, and all those things. So all the three aspects are actually correct. Brahman is also, yes, it's correct. It's a personal effulgence of Krishna, but then it's correct, but it's not complete. Okay, it's just a partial understanding. Similarly, Paramatma is the localized aspect of God, which is present in the heart of each and every living entity. It is present in each and every single atom. That is also correct perception, but again, it is not complete perception. Okay, and similarly, the Bhagwan, people who believe that, okay, like, that there is a supreme person who is, present there and he's performing his eternal pastimes, as mentioned in in all this, Vedic scriptures. So that is the complete understanding that, okay, Krishna is a Bhagwan, he has a form, and then he's performing all the eternal pastimes in Golok Vrindavan. Okay, so a very nice analogy which Srila Prabhupada gives here is that he tries to explain this concept with the sun, and we will see that there are three aspects of the sun. Okay, one aspect is the sun rays. Okay, so some people may be saying that okay, sun rays is what sun is. They cannot, like what to say, like wherever the rays of the sun is, so they say that okay, sun is there. Okay, so that concept is there. So this concept can be like applied to the Brahman concept. Okay, that the personal effulgence of Krishna is the Brahman. So similarly, the rays of the suns are like that Brahman. It's also an effulgence. Okay, So this understanding is also correct, but it's very partial. Another level is that, okay, we see the sun disk in the sky every day, right? So that disk can be, and it's all pervasive, right? We find it everywhere. Whether you are in Bangalore, you will see the sun. Whether you are in Mumbai, you go to, Delhi, you go to anywhere, okay, or any part of the world for that matter, where the sun is present, it will be just appearing on top of your head, okay. So that is the all pervasive aspect, similar to Paramatma. Okay, this analogy is given. Okay, so similarly, Krishna, in his all-pervasive aspect as Paramatma, he is present everywhere in each and every single living entity, in the hearts of every living entity. Even in the atoms, actually, he is present. Okay. And then finally, Bhagwan. So if you read the Shastras, it will clearly mention that, okay, it doesn't stop there. Like sun's rays are there, sun disk is there, that's nice, very good. But then there is actually a planet, that is known as the Surya Loka, or the sun planet. Okay. If a person happens to visit it, if, tomorrow we have by any means, if we are happy, if we happen to visit that planet, we will see that it's a, planet in itself, living entities are living there, and it has a, what to say, a presiding deity, a king of that planet is there, and his name is Vivaswan. Okay, and he is actually there present in that planet. So this is the complete understanding. Okay, and our Vedas, since that knowledge given by the Vedas are absolute, we should just believe that knowledge and take that complete knowledge. Okay, partial understanding is also good, but then if you are getting the complete knowledge, then why not imbibe that? Okay, so all these three aspects are correct: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. But Bhagwan is the complete realization, whereas Brahman and Paramatma are the partial realizations. Okay. Now a question arises that who is Bhagwan? Okay. What is the definition of Bhagwan? So it is very similar to Dhanwan. Okay, we use the term Dhanwan for a person who has a significant amount of riches. Like he or she is the possessor of good amount of wealth. So that person is known as Dhanwan. Okay. So now, but Bhagwan is one level above. He is the possessor of all the opulence in totality. Okay. Like a person may be very wealthy here. Like, for example, anyone, like any business tycoon you take, for example, maybe Elon Musk, or, maybe, Mukesh Ambani. So they can say that, okay, they have a lot of money, but can they claim that they have all the money in all the universes? No, right? So similarly, Bhagwan, there is a difference between Bhagwan and the ordinary people. Okay, he is the possessor of all the opulences present in all the universes, in the entire creation. Okay, that means he is the absolute possessor of all the opulences. No one is equal to or greater than him. In that aspect. So if we have that qualification, then that person can be qualified as Bhagwan. So a very nice definition comes here again in one of our scriptures. It says, so what are these opulences? So, this particular verse will tell. Okay, so there are 6 opulences which have been mentioned, and anyone who possesses all 6 of them in totality, okay, such that no one is having more than or equal to, that person, then that person can be considered as Bhagwan. What are those 6 opulences? Aishwaryasya samagrasya veerasya yashasah shriyah ज्ञान वैराग्य ज्ञान वैराग्योश्चैव सन्नाम भगवानिह. So which means Aishwarya, okay, wealth, Veerasya, strength, Yashasa, fame, Shriya, that means beauty, Jnana, knowledge, and Vairagya, renunciation. Okay, but just see how, I would not say contradictory, but how catchy this is. Okay, like how tricky this is. Okay, just see, if a person is a possessor of wealth. Okay, if the person has significant amount of strength, if the person has lot of fame, he or she is enjoying lot of fame. Okay, and if the person is very beautiful, and if the person is very knowledgeable, he has these 5 characteristics in abundance, like in a lot basically, then the 6th one, renunciation, generally will not go with that person. Okay, that person will be too engrossed in all the material activities, and there is no question of that person being renounced. Okay, but this is the actual beauty of Bhagwan, that in spite of having all these 5 opulences in full, wealth, strength, fame, beauty, and knowledge, Bhagwan is completely renounced. Okay, Like he is not attached to any five of these at all. Okay, so we'll see how Krishna qualifies for in these 6 activities and why we are calling him as Bhagwan. Okay, so first is rich or wealth. Okay, so in Brahma Samhita, it is clearly mentioned that hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis are serving him. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambhrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Okay, so hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis are serving him. And when it comes to the riches, it is not pertaining to only this material world. Okay, so this material world is there, the spiritual world is there. This material world is in just one. The universe which we are staying in is just one universe. Okay, there are innumerable such universes coming out from the pores of Mahavishnu. Okay, so all the riches in all these universes, is actually, is Krishna's creation. It all belongs to him. Okay, so he's obviously like the richest personality. Okay. Secondly, strength. He lifted Govardhan Hill when he was 7 years of age, that too on the little finger of his left hand, for 7 days and 7 nights. Who can do that? Okay. So obviously he is the strongest of all. Okay. Then fame. Ramayana and Krishna Leela are still being discussed. We are sitting here, talking about the Bhagavad Gita even 5,000 years after, like he spoke in Bhagavad Gita. As a matter of fact, was spoken much before 5,000 years. In the Dwapar Yuga, 5,000 years back, Krishna merely repeated that to re-establish the principles of dharma, which was getting lost. Right? Initially, he had spoken, many thousands and thousands of years before, Mahabharata actually, to the sun god, and we'll see that in the 4th chapter. Okay. Similarly, Ramayana took place long time back. Okay, like if we do the correct chronology, it was not in this Treta Yuga. It was, in a different Treta Yuga. So it's like more than, I don't know, I can't even count, how long it has been. Okay, but still we are, discussing that. We relish these stories. You see, TV serials these days are, studded with all these Ramayana and, Krishna Leela, which are being played over and over again, and we are actually relishing it, even till this date. So don't you think that it's the fame of Lord Krishna is, such that he's all famous, right? Similarly, beauty. When it comes to beauty, Krishna is called Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya, which means it enchants hundreds and thousands of cupids. Okay, like the cupid is actually considered to be very, very attractive and very beautiful. Okay, like in Hindi we call him the Kamadev, right? It like his role is to bring about that feeling of love and lust, within the inhabitants of this material world, right? And but Krishna is just, enchanter of that cupid. Hundreds and thousands of cupids simply, remain enchanted by the beauty of Krishna. Okay, so he's all beautiful, and Krishna itself, the word itself means all beautiful. Okay, so then knowledge. So he knows past, present, and future of each and every single living entity. Okay, as I mentioned, that this universe is just one universe. There are millions and millions, innumerable such universes coming out of the pores of Mahavishnu. There are so many living, and this material world comprises only of 1/4, of the creation. The 3/4 is the spiritual world. So many living entities are there, right? And Krishna knows past, present, and future of each and every single living entity. We're not just humans, but each and every single living entity. That is knowledge. Okay, that is the magnitude of knowledge we are talking about. Okay, he delivered Bhagavad Gita in just 45 minutes. Okay, who can do that? Who else can do that? Right? So this is Krishna. So similarly, renunciation. Okay, see, entire creation, like spiritual, material, everything belongs to him, but he has given it to us for just to enjoy. Okay, that okay, you wanted to enjoy without me, go ahead and enjoy. Okay, under no circumstances whatsoever he actually interferes in the free will of the living entity. Okay, so after delivering the Bhagavad Gita, entire Bhagavad Gita, okay, he was not forcing Arjun to go and fight. He said, "Yatechasi tatha kuru." Okay, that now I have told you what you wanted to hear. Now you just do as you desire. You think over it, you deliberate over it, and then you then you finally take the call, whether you want to fight or you don't want to fight. Okay, so this is the renunciation, okay, which Krishna possesses. He's not attached to anything or anyone. Okay, so this is how Krishna is qualifying for this position of God. So God, what we say is Krishna. Okay, and we have seen, that in Hinduism there are, lot of other devis and devtas. What about them? Okay, what about other devis and devtas? So in the Brahma Samhita, it's very clear. Lord Brahma is glorifying Krishna. He's saying Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Ishvara means controller, and Ishvara Parama means the Param controller, the topmost controller. Okay, is Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigra, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karan Karan. Okay, so Krishna is the supreme controller. Okay, Satchidananda Vigra. He has a beautiful, like a body, a beautiful form, which is absolute and which is full of knowledge. Okay. Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda. He has no beginning or end. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the eternal cause of all causes. Okay, so this is Lord what Brahma is saying. In the Padma Puran, Lord Shiva is talking to Mother Sati or Mother Parvati, and he's saying, Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. Okay, that out of all the Aradhana, all the worship that we do, worship of Lord Vishnu is the topmost. Okay, Lord Shiva is confirming this. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says, Matta Partaram Nanyat Kinchid Vasti Dhananjaya. Oh Dhananjaya, there is no truth superior to me. Okay? I am the, the at the topmost. There is no one equal to or greater than me. Matta sar, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Matta Sarvam Pravartate. In the 10th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, he says, everything emanates from me. I am the source of all, everything, spiritual and material world. Okay? So Krishna is saying this, or Vishnu is saying this. Lord Brahma is saying that, okay, Krishna is the supreme. Lord Shiva is saying, is the supreme. Then he is the supreme. Okay, so other Devi and Devtas, they are very clear about this concept. Okay, there is no disagreement among them whatsoever. Okay, they all, unanimously accept Krishna as the supreme personality. It's just because of our own limitations, our own limited knowledge, or our own, what to say, ego and pride, that we keep fighting amongst ourselves, that why only Krishna is supreme, why not Lord Shiva, why not Durga Devi, or Mother Kali, or why not Ganesha, right? It's a person with right intelligence, with right frame of mind, will simply accept what is there written in the Bhagavad Gita, in all these scriptures, what they are concluding, and they will simply accept that. Okay, so this is the position of Krishna. Okay. And then what about other incarnations? I think in the last session we had this question. I think Shweta Mataji or someone asked, if I can't recall, that what if we, worship other incarnations, like of Vishnu, maybe say Krishna, say Vishnu, or anything, Narsimhadev, Lord Ramchandra. Is there any problem in that? Okay, so no problems at all. Okay, but then our Shastras again, have a very nice shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam. They confirm, it says, Eti cham shakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan swayam. Okay, Indrari vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. That means, Eti cham shakala pumsa means all these incarnations are either expansions, are either plenary expansions or expansions of the plenary expansions, but the original Godhead is Krishna. Okay, our original source is Krishna. Krishna's tu Bhagwan Swayam. So there's a very widespread misconception among the Hindus or the followers of Hindu Dharma that Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu. Okay, it's not correct. Okay, this is a misconception which has to be corrected, and they should refer to Srimad Bhagavatam, what Bhagavatam is saying. Okay, it's clearly saying that Krishna is two Bhagwans, and Krishna is the source of all incarnations. He is an avatari. Okay, from him actually all the incarnations emanate, including Lord Vishnu. Okay, so this is what is said here. So, but yes, as far as worshipping is concerned, you can go ahead and worship any form, like you are attached to. But here in ISKCON, we actually worship the Yugal Kishore, Srimati Radharani and Krishna, who are eternally 17 or 18-year youth. Okay, so that is what that is the deities that we have here at ISKCON. And otherwise, yeah, whomsoever you are attached to, you can go ahead. You can worship them. There's no problems at all. I myself am Lord. I'm very attached to Lord Ramchandra. Okay, so in fact, I was born on the day of Ram Navami. So that has a very special place. Lord Ramchandra has a very special place in my heart, right? But yeah, so it's up to everyone. But here in ISKCON, we actually worship the Yugal Kishore and Krishna, as we see that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So yes, he is Bhagwan actually. So no one should have any doubts on this fact. And actually, people who doubt this are not very intelligent people. Okay, all the shastras and everything, all the rishi munis and all the spiritual masters, they unanimously agree on the same point. Okay, that Krishna is tu Bhagavan Swayam. Then there should not be any doubts in anyone's mind. Okay, so now we see that in this particular verse, Arjun is getting bewildered in presence of Krishna, who is the Bhagavan, who is Bhagavan Swayam, right? He is standing right beside him. He is his chariot driver. He is there to give him advices. Still, Arjun is getting bewildered. Okay, so this is the reason why Krishna uses the term kutastu. From where? From where this impurities have crept upon you? I am sitting here. Yaar, why are you so bewildered? Why are you so worried about this? This is what Krishna is trying to say here, right? So yes, we'll move on to the next verse, and I think we'll be able to cover only 3 today, and then because I have some things to discuss, so let's cover only 3 verses, and then we'll see. Share the screen again. Okay. So Shwini Mataji, I think she won't be able to read. She must be in the office. Shweta Mataji, will you be able to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Are you?
I'll go and with
Yeah.
sloka and translation.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sloka number 2.3. Klaibyam asmagamaha partha naita tvaye upapadyate kshidram hridaya dhaurbalyam tyaktotishta parantapa.
Very nice, Mataji. Yes, please go ahead with the translation and the purport. Then we.
Translation. O son of Partha, O son of Pritha, do not yield to this disgrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness, heart, and arise, O chaster of the enemy. Shall I read the purport also, Prabhu?
Yes, purport also.
Yeah. Arjuna was addressed as the son of Pritha, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father, Vasudeva. Therefore, Arjuna had a blood relationship with Krishna. If the son of a Kshatriya declines to fight, he is a Kshatriya in name only. And if the son of a Brahmana acts impiously, he is a Brahmana in name only. Such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of their fathers. Therefore, Krishna did not want Arjuna to become an unworthy son of a Kshatriya. Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna did not fit his personality. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relatives. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity were mere weakness of heart. Such false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. Therefore, such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by persons like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Okay. So, okay, yeah, this one. So yeah, very nice verse again. Indeed, we have a lot to learn from this also. Okay, so the funny part is that whenever Krishna wants to remind Arjun that he's a Kshatriya, he uses this term Partha, right? Why? Because it reminds that he is the son of Pritha or Kunti, and Kunti was sister of Krishna's father Vasudeva. Okay, so he was the cousin of Arjun also, Lord Krishna. Okay, and his father Vasudeva, Krishna's father Vasudeva was also Kshatriya. Kunti was also a great Kshatrani. Okay, so Arjun actually Krishna tries to incite that enthusiasm in Arjun by saying that okay, you are a son of a Kshatrani. You get up and fight. This attitude doesn't suit you. Like fleeing away from the battlefield. Okay, so he always uses the term Partha to remind him that he is the son of Pritha. Okay. Second is that Arjun's compassion for his relative. Okay, and what Prabhupada is saying here, that it is not a feeling of magnanimity or like compassion basically. Okay, it's clearly mentioned that it is the weakness of his heart. Okay, because clearly what he is mentioning, I'll read from the purport here again. Very nicely he has said, so if the son of Kshatriya declines to fight, he is Kshatriya in the name only. Okay, and if a son of a Brahmana acts impiously, he is Brahmana in the name only. Such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of their fathers. Therefore, Krishna didn't want Arjun to become unworthy son of a Kshatriya. Okay, so he's saying that okay, you are the son of Pritha. Okay, and this doesn't suit you at all. So, and this compassion, that so-called compassion that you are having in your heart, is actually the weakness of your heart. Don't be consumed by this weakness. Okay, give up this weakness, because Krishna didn't want Arjun to be to go through an infamy that okay, he fled away from the battlefield. Okay, so a very important point that Prabhupada is mentioning here is that what happens to people who give up their occupation. Okay, so there are certain ways in which Brahmanas are supposed to behave. Qualities of Brahmanas are there. There are certain ways in which Kshatriyas are supposed to behave. There are certain ways in which Vaishyas are supposed to behave, and then Shudras are supposed to behave in a certain way. Okay, and this is given in the Bhagavad Gita. I'll just share the screen so that all of you can see, and we will also just quickly go through it. Okay, we'll not read the shlokas, but at least I'll show you the translations. Okay, so yes. So this I'm taking from the 18th chapter, verse number 42, and it says, peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. Okay, these are the natural qualities by which Brahmanas work. So these are the if any person is possessing all these qualities, then that person is qualified to be called a Brahmana. But simply if I'm taking birth in a Brahmana family, and if I'm not having any of these qualities, rather I'm indulging in meat eating, I'm indulging in consuming alcohol, I'm indulging in illicit sexual activities, I'm indulging in gambling, then I'm just a Brahmana in the name only. Okay, I have been born in a Brahmana family, that's it. I have zero qualifications to become a Brahman. Okay. So this is clearly what Krishna is, and this is not, we are interpreting. Okay, Krishna is making this statement. Okay, in the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 42nd verse. Okay. Similarly, he is speaking about the qualities of Kshatriya, which we are seeing in this case, Arjuna's case. Okay, heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, leadership are the natural qualities of the work for Kshatriyas. Okay. So all these qualities should be present in a Kshatriya. If a person is born in a Kshatriya family but is not, exhibiting these qualities, then that person is a Kshatriya in the name only. Okay, right? They cannot be qualified to call a Kshatriya. So here, like clearly, courage in battle, that is one of the qualities. And Arjun was actually declining to show that quality. Okay, although he was very courageous, but just after seeing his own kinsmen in the battlefield, all his courage actually started to dwindle, and that he was overwhelmed with compassion that okay, I can't kill them, they are my relatives. Okay, so that kind of attitude doesn't serve a Kshatriya, it doesn't go well with Kshatriya. Okay, so this is what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita later in the 18th chapter. Okay, these are the qualities he has mentioned. Okay, so such people, like who are born, say, a person born in a Brahmana family and they are not exhibiting any qualities of a Brahmana, they are known as Brahmana Bandhu. They are not called Brahmana. Okay, for Brahmanas, you have to exhibit those qualities. Okay, so similarly, Kshatriyas have some qualities, and Krishna wanted Arjun to exhibit such qualities. He did not want him to just run away from the battlefield. Okay, because he was the most intimate friend of Arjun. Okay, and he's also Bhagwan. He's the all powerful, as we have seen, right? He's all famous. He's all beautiful. He's all wealthy. Correct. So when he himself is present as a charioteer and as a friend, with Arjun, then and then if Arjun is showing all these, what to say, bewilderment and like weakness of heart, then that is a cause of a great infamy for such a person. Okay, that God is present right there, with you, and then you are not making use of that credit, right? He's present there as an advisor, and you are not making use of that credit. Then it's a cause of big infamy. Krishna didn't want Arjun to go through that infamy, right? So this is what it says, the third verse. I think, um, and yeah, one more important thing is that what is Arjun supposed to do, in this situation? Okay, that he's completely bewildered, and like he's trying to give excuses for not fighting. So if you see the last line, okay, what Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. Therefore, such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by persons like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna. Okay, so if Krishna himself is guiding us, okay, then it's okay. Like if he's saying that, okay, you go ahead and kill them, you fight the battle, okay, then it's fine. Okay, otherwise, according to our own whims and fantasies, we cannot become violent. Okay, Shastras actually prohibit that. Okay, a person should be very tolerant, especially Vaishnava should be very tolerant. Okay, until and unless we get a direct instruction from Krishna or from our spiritual masters, then it's okay. Otherwise, we should be tolerant and we should learn to tolerate. Trinadapi sunikena tarorapi sahishnuna. Okay, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that a devotee should be as humble as a blade of grass and as tolerant as a tree. Okay, so we have to go by that principle. But since here Krishna was present with Arjun and he himself was instructing him to fight, so there was no harm. Arjun should not have any doubt in the mind that, okay, what to do and what not to do. Okay, so similarly, Kshatriya becoming non-violent doesn't go well. Okay, so what learning can we get from this verse? That Krishna is there in our hearts, okay, in each and everyone's heart, and we too are in the position of Arjun. Okay, so we must also act under the guidance of Krishna. Okay, so Krishna is there in the heart if we are actually chanting very nicely, if we are reading the Bhagavad Gita very nicely. Okay, then he himself will instruct us from within. Okay, that knowledge will come to us from within. Okay. So simply by following the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, our hearts will be purified, and then we can directly communicate. Like Krishna will give us the instructions from inside. Okay, and just like Arjun, Krishna doesn't want all of us to go through the infamy. Okay, and what will be that infamy? That Bhagavad Gita is there in each and every one, in the houses of each and every single person, right, today, and especially like the people who are following the Sanatan Dharma or following the Hindu Dharma, right? The book is there in everyone, in each and every household, it's there, right? You have been brought into this association of devotees where you have been clearly, given the reference from the Shastras that chanting the holy name can, actually take you back to Godhead, okay, back home, back to Godhead. It can actually, save you from this cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, right? But still, if we do not take to this process, still if we keep on ignoring that, still if we do not read the Bhagavad Gita, still if we do not chant, then it's an act of great infamy. Okay, I mean, it's very unfortunate that we will not, we don't do this. Okay, so this is what this whole verse is, and the learning from this verse, which can be taken away. Okay, so with this, I would like to pause here. We will have some other discussions now. Let me stop the live now, and the questions we can take it in the next class. Okay, you just keep all the queries ready. Feel free to ask me anytime, or even you can reach out to me personally on WhatsApp. That's totally fine. But